A year ago, I made a video where I gave my recommendation for a zombie melee weapon, being a nice compact poleaxe. And 10 million views later, we're back to finally put this thing to the test against a Ballistic Head zombie simulator. I arrived at recommending a poleaxe because I wanted something that pretty much anybody could pick up and use and didn't really have a prerequisite skill set like using a sword does. But instead of just recommending a basic club, I wanted to increase the mechanical advantages behind swing, so that's why I opted with something with strike faces. And of course, the question we're trying to set out to answer today is, how effective are these strike faces if we're dealing with a sort of take out the brain and the zombie goes kaput sort of situation? And if you're lifting your brow at me calling this a poleaxe, I have covered the weird naming conventions of polearms in the past, and I would direct you to check those videos out. Now, because this is such a finite target and we can only get but so many strikes in before there's nothing left of value here, I'm going to try to get at least one hit in with each one of these implements. Assuming that the skull lasts long enough to get through all of these, I want to open with a diagonal strike with the Maul, pretty much your bog standard blow here. I want to do a thrust into the face with the spike, and then choking up with the haft, assuming that we've gotten in a bit closer and seeing what I can do with the beak in much closer distance without that leverage.
Both are recording.
Okay. So that went about as well as I expected. It punched a hole straight through. I had no trouble getting it back out again. There was some slight resistance, but it was very little effort on my part to extract the hammerhead from the skull. Now for the next one, we're going to go with the beak. I had no concerns really about the hammer getting stuck, but the beak, we'll see. I don't know how this is going to go, so we're going to try that next. Well. All right, so that went right in, right about there. Oh yeah, there it is. Punched right through. Oh, I broke his neck. Oh, his neck is... Oh, his neck is soundly broken. So that's interesting. That was not what I expected, but that's where we're at now. So as far as where this ended up when it actually hit, it looks like it came in. Oh, wow, it got deeper than I thought it did. It got to there. And that came out no problem at all. Would you look at that? All right, so we have tried to reinforce that break in the dowel with some duct tape here, but his neck is still broken, so regardless, he's kind of drooping a little bit. But next, we're going to go with the spike. I do want to draw some attention to the fact that this spike has not actually been sharpened at all. This is entirely stock, and it's not particularly pointy, but I'm curious to see what'll happen anyways, because let's face it, you know, you might not be able to keep this perfectly pointy at all times anyway, so let's see what a slightly blunted point can do. Oh.
Okay.
So I whiffed the thrust, I caught his cheek and glanced, but I have completely lacerated this entire skin flap here. Oh, it's gonna, oh, there it goes. Oh. Oh. So the entire skull here, oh, look at it, it's pooling on. The entire skull has been fractured through here. So that's where it actually went in, I think. And it's just oozing. Oh, yep, there it goes now. Oh boy.
Okay.
All right, new development. You know how I said his neck broke? Well, yeah, no more head. All right, we have now stuck our severed head on a spike. We still got some mileage out of this thing, so I'm gonna try a one-handed strike next. Oh. I was hoping the spike would give a bit more resistance, but it looks like we just managed to drive the spike all the way through. and that didn't really give us much evidence as far as what the one-handed blow can do. But now that he's been bottomed out on the spike, I think I'm going to aim a blow right here and see what we can do with the one-handed strike. Two blows down, the skull is completely fractured, it's through the spike. I don't think we're at a stage where the head is giving us much more useful feedback at this point. Anything after this, it's pretty questionable, the value, but we still have a lot of skull left. So at this point, I'm just gonna start hitting it, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so that did the job. That put a slight bend in this. This is just a mild steel poleaxe. If you had like hardened steel or something, it'd probably hold up a bit better. But honestly, this is no big deal. I can just bang that back out straight. Not an issue. For the amount of destruction I delivered to that, and I think some of those bends might have been from hitting a less forgiving structure here. But as far as whether or not this will do the job against all of that, I think that is a resounding yes. And a huge thanks to everybody who contributed to the GoFundMe to procure our little training dummy here. I could not have done this without your support, and I hope this was everything you were hoping for. Okay.